It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change your attitude, change your life. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life brings you interviews with some of the most inspirational and influential people in the world. It's our goal to educate and empower you so you can live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. We have another great show for you today. At the age of 27, today's guest, Marissa Jaret Winoker, was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Now cancer-free, Marissa works to raise awareness of the link between certain viruses and cancer. She's here today to discuss her cancer battle and the importance of prevention methods. Marissa danced her way into the hearts of America on Dancing with the Stars, making it all the way to the Final Four. She won a Tony Award for her role in Hairspray. Her recent TV credits include Girls and Crashing on HBO, Playing House on USA, and Scream Queens on Fox. She was also a series regular on Retired at 35 on TV Land. Welcome, Marissa. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Marissa, thank you so much for coming on the show to talk about this topic. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about your career, because it's been an amazing one. Did you always know that you wanted to be an actress? And if yes, how did that knowledge impact your life?
Oh my gosh. Well, I wanted to be an actress when I was 8 years old, I knew. And I think I think it helped guide me through everything. Because, when you're growing up and there's the parties and people start, experimenting with drinking or drugs or whatever, I never got into that because I was so focused. I was like, I want to be an actress. I want to be on Broadway. I want to, so I had all these dreams and goals early, which I think really informed who I was going to be, because I was very ambitious. So, even if teenage girls are being mean, I was like, whatever, I'm going to be an actress. I got stuff to do.
In the early days, when you knew that this was something that you really wanted to do, and it may not have been happening as quickly as you wanted, how were you able to keep your passion? How did you stay motivated?
I still feel like that every day of my life, because you think about it, I won a Tony Award. That was amazing. Right. But I haven't done a Broadway show since, right? So on a daily basis, I'm being reminded, you can't just sit back and relax. You can't just say, oh, well, I did it, I'm done. I'm like, well, now what can I do to hone my craft more so I can do the next role? Or it's hard. As a child, you get rejected so much as it is, right? So being an actress, you get rejected on a daily basis. I definitely found a zen place almost where I could definitely be like, this isn't about me. There auditioned 300 people. Maybe I looked like their aunt. Maybe I looked like that one friend that they don't like. Maybe, it's you can't take it personally. And I think in life, you just have to, it's what made me a stronger actress. Because when I got the role of Tracy in Hairspray, I didn't just sit back and go, oh, I got this role, I'm going to wait till we do it. I started dance classes. I started voice lessons. I was like, I'm going to not let them fire me ever.
So, Marissa, your career is on track and everything's going as planned. And then you hear those three words that everyone fears. You have cancer. How did that diagnosis come to be, and what were you experiencing at that time?
It was in the year 2000, and I had just got the role of Hairspray and we had been doing the workshops of Hairspray. We hadn't quite started the show yet, and literally I went to my normal OBGYN, I went for my normal pap smear, and literally that's right, they told me that I had cancer. So I went immediately, I got second opinions. I went right into getting treatments taking care of myself, because I was like, I had to get back to the show. I had to get back to Hairspray, right? So I didn't tell anybody involved in Hairspray because I didn't want them to fire me. So for me, I think, I look back now at my diagnosis, and it certainly made me, at the time, at 27, I knew cancer could not take me out. I had so much more to do. I had so much more to give, and I wasn't going to let it slow me down. So when I was diagnosed with cervical cancer at 27, I just immediately thought, I have to get better, I have to get stronger, and I did, yeah.
How much of a role in your recovery do you think your attitude had?
Oh, I say that Hairspray saved my life not because of the show, but because I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself. I didn't have time to self-examine, or what did that mean, or feel like, oh no, because when I was diagnosed, once I had my surgery, I had a radical hysterectomy, so I then was no longer able to have a child, and it was all these things, but I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself. I didn't have time to deal with that. So because I was working and, finishing and living my life, I didn't have time to let the sadness take over. I definitely know as I got older and after Hairspray, I definitely have spent many a days feeling like, oh my gosh, like I didn't deal with that when I was 27, and then at 35, wanting to have a child, I definitely started dealing with what that meant. But I do believe that because I had a all or nothing attitude, and I have had friends since my cancer, I've had friends who have been diagnosed with cancer, and I'm like, you can feel sorry for yourself in 2 years from now, but like right now, you need to just go for it and fight.
Marissa, what steps can our listeners take to help prevent cancer?
What I've joined with an organization, thinkaboutTheLink.org, and it's really thinking about viruses that link to cancer. So HPV is a big link to cancer. 91% of all cervical cancers are caused by the HPV virus, right? So if you test positive for HPV, it doesn't mean you're going to have cancer. It just means to follow up with your doctors and stay on top of it so that if cells become abnormal, then they can get them out before turning into cancer. It's amazing now that we can protect our children. We can stay on top of things, knowing the viruses that are linking to cancers. You can then know what your link is to cancer.
So now, all these years later, look at your career. I mean, it's amazing. And Dancing with the Stars, what made you decide to want to compete on that show? That had to be more rigorous than what any of us could imagine.
Oh, no, no. Dancing with the Stars, I think about it now and I laugh out loud thinking about how it was so intense. It was so stressful. It was everything that you imagine it is. It's like 10 times worse. Like I think I cried every single night just from exhaustion, But when you're doing it, it's so amazing and so wonderful. And I did season 6, so the show, everybody was so excited, and I met Oprah, and it was like everything was it was amazing. And at that time I had a surrogate because I was unable to carry my son because of cancer, but I was able to have a surrogate, and my surrogate was pregnant. So it was literally the most exciting time of my life.
Do you think you challenge yourself now because of your cancer diagnosis?
I think now, I think I challenge myself. I think I'm someone who does things that scare me. I do think that when I became a mother, I stopped doing things that scared me because having a child is scary. Mm-hmm. So that's a challenge on a daily basis. Having a child is definitely a challenge. Every day I feel challenged by being a mom. And I feel like just recently, my son is now 9, I've started to challenge myself again. I don't know if it's because of the cancer. I don't know. I mean, it definitely changed my life. I think about before I had cancer, I just want to be a star, and I just want, people to love me. And then after I had cancer, it was like, I just wanted to live my life and do everything I possibly could do and make a mark, but it wasn't about, when I opened Hairspray on Broadway, everybody was cheering and excited, but I was like, 1 year ago, I had cancer, so it didn't affect me the way. I definitely believe that having cancer changed the rest of my life through experiences, because I experienced things much more going, God, what if I didn't catch that? Look at what I've done now, and look at my child that I have. And I wouldn't change any of it because of the outcome now. I just hope that other people don't have to get to make the choices rather than be told these are their choices.
Marissa, in about 30 seconds or less, what's the takeaway? What would you like to leave our listeners with?
The most important thing for me to leave the listeners with is to talk to your doctors, be proactive about your health, and really, I feel like what saved my life was that I did, talk to my doctors about my health. So really, don't be afraid to talk to your doctors. Go in, make sure, where your body is with your doctors, and always stay on top of things.
Marissa, thank you so much for being here with us today, for sharing your story, and for raising awareness about cancer prevention. I wish you much success in whatever comes next for you.
Thank you so much.
This is Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. I hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that the information provided are the opinions of our guests and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, visit our website, CYACYL.com. While on the site, listen to past shows on demand, read our digital magazine, take part in the book club, check out our team, and be sure to follow the show on social media. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.